What's up? Thank you for tuning in and welcome to my first video on this channel, or basically my first ever YouTube video. I'm Mika, the owner of the CEO Club. If you have any tips for me on how I can improve my videos, I would appreciate if you leave the tips in the comments below. Also, I've put an invite link to the CEO Club in the video description. It's completely free, so if you haven't joined yet, you are definitely missing out. So let's go over 7 stores that I got sent by members, and I will show you what I would personally improve on so that we can earn more money per visitor. By the way, I haven't looked at any of the stores before, so it's also my first time seeing them. And yeah, let's get started with store number 1. So Blue Home Gadgets is the first store. In general, I wouldn't name a store like this. I would always go with a branded store name, just some random word that doesn't make sense. It's not really branded and looks kinda bad. Also, we are going to view every store on the mobile version because that's what 99% of the customers are going to see. So let's switch to the mobile variant and I will go on the product page. So the first thing that I would change is that I would either decide to go with the text left aligned or in the middle, because here it's left aligned. At the top it's also left aligned, but these buttons are aligned in the center. Also the text down here is also in the center, so I would either go full left aligned or full center aligned. With the variants I would change them to color swatches. Also, I would change the product picture because when we choose white, it's just a white spoon on white background and the contrast isn't really that great. So I would always use an image where the product is shown in action, like this one, for example. This looks way better. And yeah, when we scroll down a little bit, we can see some bullet points, which is always great. There's for sure a way to make them look a little bit better, but it's not that bad. For the description, I would give it like a 7 or 6 out of 10. It's good that he doesn't have too much text in the description, because no one wants to read a full page of description. So keep it as short as possible, use images or icons. And for example, below here, cut away that text and just make it shorter so it's easier to read. To have numbers down here added as social proof is also a good idea, so that's pretty good. And answer some questions down here also looks good. Maybe the text is a little bit too small, so you could scale that up a little. And yeah, some badges down here also looks good. For the reviews, it's good that he didn't only use 5-star reviews, because that would be pretty obvious that he wrote them himself. What I also like to do is put in some 1 or 2-star reviews. For example, write the product arrived broken, but I got a refund, so it shows that we got good support because we refund people if it arrives broken, things like that, so that these reviews aren't completely empty. For the reviews, I would put some spacing on the left and right because this is completely full screen and these have white borders here. So I would just change it here, and 1 second, and basically do it like that. Yep, that looks better. Yeah, the product page overall isn't that bad. It could use some improvement, but it doesn't look that bad. So let's press add to cart. And you could definitely add some upsells here for, I don't know, something you could need in the kitchen. For example, get another spoon for 20% off, or just put in another product that you would need in the kitchen so we can get that average order value up. Same thing for post-purchase upsells. You could basically sell the same product for 30% off, so you would generate also more AOV. So let's get to the second shop, which is andrewtatesunglasses.com. First thing that I would change is that I would always use a letter logo instead of just some icon. So I would definitely change that. And you always want to have a button at the top here to get to your products. And it's not here. You have to scroll down a little bit. So let's see. So there's definitely some improvement to be made. A black background is always a little bit difficult to do, especially with white background product images. So I would change the black background back to white and the text back to black so that it would just look better with the product images. Also resize the product images to a square because it doesn't really look good when one is portrait and the next is square. Then we got one in landscape. The images themselves aren't bad, so yeah, I would just change the aspect ratio. Also, I would change the heading font because it looks a little bit outdated, and you also use a different product description font, so I would keep that to the same font. Also, the add to cart button looks really messed up. I would definitely slim down the edges. Let me do that real quick. So that looks way better. Also, I would round these edges here because your add to cart and buy it now button are also round. So I would change these edges to round so that they look like this. For the product description, you could take some images from up here and put them down here, and maybe also use a video where someone is using the sunglasses. So for the product description, I would basically do the same as the shop before, use one big headline, then just write a small paragraph and then use an image or a GIF. The product description is definitely not great. So let me redo the product page real quick on how I would do it. So I just made some minor changes real quick. I changed the background to white. I removed the images that are portraits and not square, so it's all the same aspect ratio. Then I changed the heading font so it just looks cleaner. I didn't really change anything in the description, although I would change a lot, like put in images and all of that. But yeah, just some minor changes that made it look better, but it's still not 100% to my liking. So I basically just changed the major things I would change. We are also missing out on upsells here, so definitely add those. And of course add some post-purchase upsells, so yeah, get that AOV up. So let's go on to the next site, which is Undeniable London. And I can already tell this looks way better. I would change the Shop Now button color so it's a little bit more visible on the white background. Or I would just go with a different background image in general, because it's always difficult to work with a completely white background image. And yeah, when we scroll down, we got some bundles and some bestsellers. The images all look really good, so I wouldn't change anything here. He also got some social proof, or basically user images, which is really good to show that your brand isn't just a small startup. So yeah, it's a really good idea to just pay some people to do images with your product. That's usually the first thing I do when I go into a scaling phase, because it just adds so much social proof. It's insane. Definitely do that when you are scaling. So let's click on a product. I will go on the bundle here real quick. With these brands in general, I wouldn't really go with a dropshipping product description, because we are not trying to say like a problem solving product or anything like it. So a short product description like this also works. Maybe for, let's say, water, heat and sweat resistant, we could put like an image comparison between two brands, like one gives you a green neck and the other stays fresh, no matter how long you keep it in water or sweat. It's always great to have a comparison between why your brand is better than another brand. Also, it's a little bit difficult to use a green add to cart button when green is not really used anywhere else on the product page. So maybe I would just go with a black and white, or just change the color scheme in general on your store. Really great work on the product images, so I wouldn't improve much on this side. This already looks really good. He also got some size images, which are also good to see how the necklace would look on your neck. So that's really good. Frequently bought together is also a really good method to get that AOV up, so good job on here. Maybe you could make the design a little bit more appealing, but yeah, that's not really too bad. For the reviews, maybe add 1 or 2 reviews yourself, but if you don't really like that, you could also pay some person to review your product professionally. So let's pick some chains, click add to cart. Really good work on the upsells inside the cart. The only thing that looks weird is that we got a big white space on the right here. Down here we have another new color, so I would just change that to your green or whatever you are going with. And let's add another chain. Okay, that seems to work. And let's check out. Yeah, perfect. So yeah, that side was definitely the best one we've seen yet. I wouldn't change much on this side. I don't know if he has post-purchase upsells, but if you haven't, it's literally free money. So yeah, just put it in. So let's go on the next side. And the first thing I'm seeing is that we got a blue main color, but the cookie banner is black and yellow. So definitely change that to your color scheme. So let's go to the product itself. He did a good job of naming the product of a brand name and not just naming it like ear cleaner or something like that. So definitely good job on that. He has a lot of reviews, which always add some social proof. Then he shows the problem you have with normal ear cleaners, that you basically just clog your ears. And then he goes ahead and shows the solution, which is his product he's selling, so that's made really good. The text could be a little bit bigger for people who can't really see that well because it's really small. But in general, maybe slim down a little bit on the animations. Like 1 or 2 videos are enough mostly. And yeah, but the rest looks great. Also some Facebook social proof also looks great. We got a Q&A, so that's also good. Some 1 and 2 star reviews. Yeah, you can leave those in, but yeah, most of the reviews are 5-star reviews anyways. So yeah. The only thing that I'm seeing is that he doesn't have a cart button at the top right, which is a little bit weird. So let's find a product that's in stock. Okay, all are sold out, so I can't really see if he has a cart button, but it's not showing up at the top right. So definitely add that. Try to be careful with these type of images because sometimes TikTok or Facebook will block your page because the images are, I don't know, shocking to the visitor. So maybe try going a little bit less hard on the product images. But yeah, the product page itself and the homepage look really good. I wouldn't really change anything. Yeah, looks great. I wouldn't really change much. I don't know if you use post-purchase upsells, but if you don't, add them in as fast as possible because it's free money, as I said, and yeah, don't miss out. The next site is Classified Love. First thing is that the logo is really slim, so you can't really see it that way. And with this product in general, you can't sell this with TikTok in the USA. You maybe be able to run some ads, but you will 100% get banned, because I talked to a TikTok rep and he told me it's banned in USA and Canada. I think you can run it in Germany and UK, but yeah, it's a little bit risky. Then I would change the colors to be equal, because down here it's a darker pink and up here it's really light, and the contrast between the white background and the color isn't really that great, so I would make it a little bit darker. It's great that you used a bullet point list. That's always great. I would remove the sales countdown, because that's like 2015 dropshipping and it looks really scammy, so I would remove it. The product description is not bad. I would maybe slim down on this text here and make it like half as big, because most of the people who visit your landing page won't read through it anyways. So try spacing it up a little. Or just add a line break right here, so it's two smaller texts instead of one big text. Here I would slim it down a little bit so that it doesn't take up the whole page. So let me do that real quick. So yeah, that looks better, so that it doesn't take up the whole page. He uses image reviews, which is the best thing you can do. Always use image reviews. They convert way better than just text reviews. Then of course add a compare ad price, so that you show that the product is discounted from, I don't know, $39 down to $24. And yeah, that's basically what I would change. He has a skip cart button, so it will lead directly to checkout, which isn't really that great, because you are missing out on add to cart upsells and pre-purchase upsells. So I would rather upsell instead of letting them go directly to checkout. Although that might convert like a little bit better, but you are missing out on raising your AOV. And of course add post-purchase upsells if you haven't any, but yeah, that's basically the same with every shop. Then we go to the next shop, and the first thing I saw is that it takes insanely long for the page to load, so I would try and cut down on the images and maybe videos if you use any, so that the site loads faster. The same as the shops before, I would just stay with square images and don't use any portrait images, because it just shifts the product page around like crazy. Reviews are there. I would change the save 29 euros color to the same color as the rest, so that pink color. It's good that he has buy one get one free. That always brings up the conversion rate. I would remove the flashing thing here, because it looks a little bit weird and scammy. Also, I would put a card icon here instead of a plus icon. What's really good is that he has a comparison image at the bottom where you can see before and after. On some ad platforms like Facebook, it might be a little bit difficult to get that approved, because they usually don't like before-after pictures. But yeah, if it works, it works. So this is really great. Also, he got an image review at the top here. That's also good. Some more images with the product in use. I would be careful though, because you often get banned if you show too much skin. Maybe slim down that image here to a square, so that you don't have to scroll as much. Here's a product in action section, but it's not used, so remove that. Also add some 1 or 2 star reviews that the product arrived broken, but you got a refund, for example. Again, I wouldn't change too much on this side, but maybe I would make this images here full screen. And yeah, here you could add another in cart upsell, so maybe upsell like a bra or something and get that AOV up. The checkout text from the button at the bottom is a little bit small, but that's okay. In the checkout logo, you could maybe add some badges, but it's not really needed. And yeah, of course, post-purchase upsells once again. For the last shop, we got cozy vibes, and first thing I would change is that I would remove the at home live from your logo, because you can't really read it anyways, and it just makes the header so much bigger, because it could be like half the size, and then you wouldn't have to scroll as much to press add to cart. There are also a lot of buttons that I would remove, like the cart button on the side here, because you have a cart button at the top right anyways, so no need for that second button here. Also, I would just subscribe or remove the app that you used at the bottom here, because that looks weird. I would move the live chat button a little bit up, because it's overlapping with the floating add to cart button. So just put it there. The size button is completely unnecessary because you can't switch it anyways. So just remove it from your Shopify product and tell your supplier that you removed it, so you will know what to ship out. Also, I noticed when you scroll up that the header has a weird color. I would also fix that, however. And I would just go with one color in general, because you have that blue from the shop pay, you have that black basically from the variant buttons, you have that whatever color this is from the sale badge, and you have another color for the live chat, which is a crazy amount of colors. You only need one, so definitely change that up. As the product image, you just show what the film on the window would look like, but you don't show what your room will look like. And I would definitely cut something in to show what the room looks like afterwards, like at the bottom here. And you also don't show in the product description how your room will look like. So yeah, that's definitely improvable. The product description is just way too much text. Like, these 4 paragraphs can be spaced up between 4 more headlines and 4 more images. So you definitely have to space those out, because you just put all the text up here and then all images down here, which looks really bad. So yeah, just mix all of those together with headlines and images, and then you're good. Maybe you could also show a video of some rooms where the film is applied, so that you can show the customer what they can expect. Another part is the reviews. Here's another color which is new, which adds to all the other colors, so just decide on one color. You only got 5-star reviews, which looks super scammy. Also add some 4, 3, 2, 1-star reviews, like I said before. At least it's good that you used some images in the product reviews, but yeah, it's another thing that can be improved. So guys, that was it for my first video. If you have any video ideas for the future, just put them down in the comments and I will create a video about it. So yeah, that has been it for today, and let's see you in the next video.